For those of you who don't know, my name's Jason, and for the last couple of days, I've been working really hard on a video about me having strokes, going through the recovery process and healing and getting better and achieving and doing all that stuff. And I just watched it back, and I don't like it. I'm going to give you the TLDR. In the late 2020, I had a stroke. It wiped me out physically. I lost half my eyesight. It's neurological, so it's the same on both eyes. So I still have my depth perception, but I'm blind on the right side. I have partial paralysis. My muscles don't work as well, and one side don't work as well as the other, and it's kind of crisscrossed because of weird damage things. And my muscles fatigue super easy. I get really muscular, like physically tired from doing activities that I shouldn't even realize I'm doing. My thinker's fried out. I climb into the shower with my clothes on sometimes. I'll be walking around a room and literally not even know why I was in the room. I forget all kinds of stuff. I get confused easy. I get overwhelmed by too much noise and stuff. It's like my brain just powers off. And then I have this really strange thing going on where my sense of motion and movement is permanently clicked on. And the best way I can really describe it is like having bed spins if you've had too much to drink while you're also in the middle of an earthquake, maybe like a tremor, right? It's super weird. I can't articulate it well, but I have a constant sense that I'm in motion even when I'm not in motion, which used to make me motion sick all the time. I used to get nauseous and throw up all the time, especially if I got in a car, which has gotten better. You live with something long enough, your body, adjusts to your new reality or whatever. So yeah, physically, that's about what it did. And emotionally, I came out of it okay, I think. Like the first one, I was pretty rock solid. I was like, I'm going to overcome the world. None of this is going to hold me back. Rawr. And then like 5-6 weeks later, I don't really remember the time frame. I'm not going to look it up. I was at physical therapy, and I remember talking to this physical therapist, and she's like, hey, you need to sit down. I remember that. That's all I remember. Next thing I remember, I'm waking up in the hospital. I hurt like hell. And I talked to the doctors, nurses, whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, they had to do life-saving measures on you. I don't realize who they is. I never did think to ask, and I don't know. I didn't even think about it until just now. I have no idea who the they is. They had to perform life-saving measures on me. I'd had another stroke. That one broke me. Right? Because I was there to fix the problems from the first one. And that for the first time, it kind of hit me that this was permanent and that things might not ever be normal. And again, it probably should have been common sense after the first one, but I just hadn't accepted it yet. But the acceptance all crashed down on me that things are never going to be back to the way they were. And then it really crushed me. I had a career as a commercial glazer that was pretty lucrative and that I really enjoyed and I'd been doing for a long time. And I was in the National Guard, and I'd spent a long time in this career in the National Guard, and I was proud of it and I was happy with it. Both those are gone. Poof. Right? So now I had lost everything I had worked for, and then I start looking forward, and I can't see the future because I felt too restricted and limited. And I live in that state of kind of blah for a long time. My family and friends, well, most of them, there's a couple of them that's material for a drama channel, but most of my family and friends rallied around me. I had so much support, super fortunate, right? And that's what got me through it. Is I had all this great support, but I still just never really saw that I was focusing on everything that had lost. And then one day, because I was just stubborn and frustrated, I had decided that I was going to start using a cane instead of a walker. I'm not using a walker. That's silly. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm tired of being treated like a child. I'm using my cane. I get up to go to the bathroom. And as I'm walking in the bathroom, I don't know if the cane caught on something or I just ran into the door, because I run into doors all the time because I can't. Well, just because I'm stupid and uncoordinated. I run into the door. I stumble. I smash into the toilet. I fall between the toilet and the wall, and I am stuck there for literally hours. I don't have the physical strength to get out. I'm just stuck. Now, what's important to kind of note about this is that when I had my first stroke, I weighed probably 200 pounds. Not probably, I did. I weighed less than 200 pounds, but right around 200 pounds. I'm over 6 foot tall. That person would have probably been okay. The person I had become to this point, now I was a 275-pound fat man stuck between a wall and a toilet. You couldn't have wrote it a funnier script. Now, obviously, I didn't think it was funny while it was happening, but that shit pretty funny. So I'm stuck in between the toilet. Naturally, I get out. It works out. I'm not dead. You're talking to me. I'm talking to you, whatever the case is. So I end up in the hospital. And this time I end up in the hospital for an entire month. But this month's stay in the hospital literally turns out to be one of the best things that has happened to me since I had my strokes. Because while I'm in here, they have me doing like 3 hours a day of combined occupational therapy and physical therapy, plus my other therapies. That 3 hours a day of physical activity, I just slowly started feeling better. And I feel silly having to say it, but that was the first time I realized, wait a minute, part of the reason that you feel so bad and part of the reason that your life is so miserable is because you're not controlling the factors that you can control. You've become like a fat slob, not because you were forced to be a fat slob, right? That for me, it was like I chose to become this, to not take action on these things. I let my limitations win. And it reinvigorated me. I came out of the hospital like ready to be a new man. I had not felt that good in years, and I was just ready to go. And I was prepared to do it. Now, I didn't start making all the changes I needed to, but it really did just light a fire under me. And from that day forward, I have done everything I could to educate myself about weight loss, about nutrition, and about exercise, especially exercise within the spectrum of people that have limitations like myself, right? How can I work around my limitations and still get the benefits of physical activity? And I devoted myself really to learning those things. And since I started doing that, I started seeing progress. But like a really big catalyst, right? I was seeing progress, but not a whole lot because I wasn't making big changes yet. And I'm like, I just got to give props to this because I used to have to go down the stairs sitting on my butt. And I would slide downstairs. And I went out to the gas station and got a big old Mountain Dew, right? Big old 44-ounce Mountain Dew. And I'm coming back into the house and my son's like, do you need me to carry that downstairs for you? And I'm like, no, you don't have to worry about me so much. And he's like, you know what? If you worried about yourself and took care of yourself, I wouldn't have to, fat ass. Okay, that's not what he said exactly, but that's what I heard. And that just genuinely like, okay, this just like just increasing my activity levels and becoming more mobile isn't everything. I need to lose weight. I need to eat healthy. I need to do literally everything that's in my power to be a better me and do it. And that's what I've been doing ever since those things happened. And that's kind of what this channel is about. I want to share my journey of trying to become that person and become the best me that I can. Now, I'm never going to be a fitness model. I'm never going to be a fitness influencer. I'm never going to be like some jacked person, right? But I'm working really hard to be the best me, and I want to share that journey with people. And I also want to share whatever I learn along the way, right? Because I am spending a lot of time educating myself and learning stuff. So I might be able to share some of the knowledge that I've gained through both experience and through, training or teaching or whatever you want to call it, and share it with people, especially maybe if you feel like you have limitations that people don't understand, because that was something that really, really bothered me as I was going through this recovery process, or as I have gone through this recovery process, is that people have expectations of you, and they set like what's going on. They set your limitations high or low based on things that they're not really completely aware of, even when they're empathetic, even when they genuinely understand that you have limitations. That part was kind of babbly, but I think you got the point. Anyways, that's what this channel is going to be about. I'm just sharing my journey. I'm going to try to share some of this knowledge that I've gained, see if I can help people out along the way. I don't know. I hope all that made sense, folks. Hope you had a great day, and hopefully we'll see you next time.